here coming to you with a brand new live. So haven't done any live in the past couple of days because in the past 2 days I, as you know, went up to Utah and went there to run an ultra marathon. We did. I did roughly 32 miles up there in the Utah mountains, in the Moab Mountains in Utah. It's my first experience running an ultra marathon. I did not know what I was getting myself into, but I did it anyways. It was rocky, a lot of rocks, and that was fine. But at the same time, beautiful. I loved it. I enjoyed myself. You know. So I haven't done any live because in the past 2 days because I was out traveling out of state into a different state and cool, love it, enjoyed myself. I had a good time. Yeah, and I was with wonderful people, of course, and that's always peaceful and calm and relaxed and no problems. No, nobody terrorized us and nothing. And of course, we didn't terrorize anybody either. So yeah, but it was wonderful. Mm. Um, I wouldn't mind driving up to Utah again. I wouldn't mind. I would definitely drive up to Moab again to do some running up there, and it was cool. But yeah, at the end after running, yeah, my joints, not my joints, but my muscles, I could tell they were start to like pulling. They're like, ugh, like, dude, like you are not gonna be doing any more running. But I did more running despite that muscle. So that was something I have to go through. Hey Lynn, appreciate you. Good to see you back. Yeah. So yeah. Yeah, so I enjoyed myself. I ran uh 32 miles. First time ever. And I've never ran 32 miles before. Um I have always been, on the city streets, running around here in town. But I run every single day, so that prepared me for this 32-mile run here. And it was great. I did pretty well for myself. And, until the very end, when it was like, yeah, you are, you have, it's like, I have done, well, we are talking, well, tonight I want to talk about training your mind, but I was just talking about the reason why I did not, I didn't do any live for the past 2 days because I was in another state. I was in Utah. I was out there running. I ran 32 miles yesterday. So I didn't get to do my live because I was out of state running. So that's the reason why. But yes, but we're gonna get into what we're talking about here, which is training your mind. So train your mind to transform your life. We're gonna get into that in a little bit, but yeah. So yep, so I was in Moab, Utah. I had a wonderful time. Great place. I would definitely go back. Right now, I am not a traveler right now, but the goal is I would like to travel and run. That's my goal. Yeah. But I do travel every once in a while. Yes, I do travel, and I like traveling. Yeah, cool. Rollin, what you calling them? What were you calling me that for? That's kind of weird. Come on, man. Calm down with that them stuff. We don't do that them stuff around here. Okay. So now we're gonna jump into um, the training your mind to transform your life. And the reason why I mentioned the 32-mile run, because that was training I did, preparation I did in order for me to uh, that's how I was able to did so well in that 32-mile race, ultra marathon that I did yesterday. Preparation, training, that took a long time. Local KFC, why? Because I'm black. um, so over a period of time, I worked on myself and I trained. Especially I train in the Colorado area, which is high elevation. And that, that helps me to eventually, um, well, I was able to do that race up there in the mountains of Moab, up in those high elevations. I was able to do it. All right, I was able to do that race. uh, exactly, exactly. So during that time, I I during that, when I was out there in the mountains of Moab running, it was extremely pleasant. It was peaceful environment. The scenery was beautiful on top of those rocks. I enjoy, except for those rocks are just kinda, not kinda, but those rocks are, it can get dangerous if you do not know what you are doing. I fell down. Luckily, I fell on my hand, so I didn't have to hit the ground too hard. But these are some of the experiences that comes with, being an ultra marathon runner. And I believe that now, I think I can see myself running more ultra marathons. Now I understand, the seriousness and the gravity and the amount of stamina and the intensity to finish these races. Not a cakewalk, not a joke. You have to be a certain kind of person. I've seen people who have been running races for like hundreds. Like, I think this one lady, she that's like was her 148 marathon, and there was another lady was a 100. That was her 100 marathon she run as well. It's extremely important that, you know um because the thing is, running these marathons without training yourself, it can be um intimidating, I should say. I think because I have the training, so it wasn't that intimidating at all. I was doing well for myself. It was just in the very last of it. um yeah, so it was in the very last of it that I start to suffer. These muscles were like telling me that, yeah, you have run a little too much here. And that was okay. I pushed through it and I ended up finishing the race. It was crazy. This guy was like, hey man, let's finish up strong here. I'm like, oh man. And he was like, you can do it. I'm like, okay, let's go. And I ran it. So I finished. But I'm still feeling some kind of pain right now, still, from running that race, that ultra marathon. And so, we can go back. Um, I'm gonna, most likely tomorrow, most likely tomorrow, Lynn, I will be back tomorrow because I have missed a couple of days. And yeah, because I was out traveling. So yeah, but most likely tomorrow. And take care and have a good night. Bye bye. Bye bye. Take care. Um, don't forget, folks, while you're here to like and subscribe, comment down below. Appreciate y'all. Thank you very much. So it was it was something new, something different. I have never ran 30. Um, Take care, Lynn. Bye. Thanks. I have never ran I have never run a marathon before. Never. So I skip the marathon and I go straight to the ultra marathon. That's crazy, man. No preparation really. I didn't have a whole lot of preparation here. What I could lean on was my own fitness. Over the years that I, over the years that I've been staying fit, that's all I could lean on. Beautiful. That's what I have. And like even on those rocks when I was doing, cuz I was just running through those rocks except for the very very last end. Kick me very hard and I'm like, okay, so now I know. Well, my next one would be a 40 mile and I'm thinking to myself, can I do a 40-mile run? I'm going to have to do it. I just need to do a 40 mile. I'm gonna have to work my way up to it, that's for sure. You know. So now I do 30 miles, 32 miles. I can do 40 miles. But I would have to work and train and get myself up there. Alright? So when I get healed up, that is what I'm going to be working on. Running a 40-mile run next. That's gonna be my next. Um Love Girlines. Appreciate you. Good to see you back. Yeah, exactly. Thanks, Christy. Yeah. Run, Rayan, run. Run, Forest, run. So, yeah, I'm going to be going out there and hitting the pavement pretty hard here. But I'm going to be running some pretty good running here. And I need to get up to work my way up to the 40 miles. I'm going to have to do that. So, my next goal is to go run 40 miles. Now my running are gonna have to be way up here now, cause I used to run, regular miles and all that, and which is cool. I can do that, and that's fine. But I'm gonna have to run some longer miles now, bigger miles now, and that's the goal. I'm gonna see if I can get my friend to go over into um one of these trails, cause he needs to go run a 50-mile run. I'm gonna see if I can get him to go so we can go train over there on that trail in that mountain there. I'm pretty sure I'll be better at it now. So if we could get to do a 40-mile in there, perhaps even 50 miles, we'll see. But I'm gonna ask him, if we can get trained up to go in there. I tell him I'll come with him. If we can do a good 40 miles in there, that would be nice. We're just gonna have to do it, and get this 40 miles going out of my system. I'm gonna ask him if if he want us to do that. So we'll see. All right, but this is how it goes when you are a runner. You know what I mean? Yeah. Um, I Strava has been saying something here to me lately, saying let's do a Strava live, and I found that fascinating, and I think we probably could do that on Strava live. Yeah. Yep, I'm gonna ask my boy if he wants us to go do a fort. It's like okay. I'm gonna see if we can get some people together, and then we can go in there and we're gonna do that freaking 40 mile in there. That would be nice, if we could, cause that's gonna require at least 4 times through that trail. That's a rough freaking trail. We have run it before. Okay, it's a rough trail. It's absolutely brutal. Okay, but if the one we ran yesterday, we probably could run this one too. I think so. I'm gonna see if he wants to do a 40 mile in there before he goes for his 50 mile run, because he has a 50 mile run coming up, and I know he can do it. But I'm gonna see if he wants to do a 40 mile. I'm gonna see if we can get him to pull him out there to get it. Get after we are because we are like beat up right now. So we need to heal up. After we heal up, then we're gonna see if we can go out there and go do a 40 mile. See if we can put that show on. All right, 40 mile run, next one. But we have to train and prepare ourselves. And this is when I said we have to train our minds as well. My body was trained. My mind was trained also. My legs weren't. They were kicking my behind. They were like, nah, we're not doing this. So now I know. I was trained for that. What am I saying here is preparation. I think it was Earl Nightingale, and he says preparation is the key. You have to prepare. See, I was trained for this race without even knowing it. I did extremely well there until the very end, when the muscles start telling me that I'm overdoing it. But that was fine because I need to go through that, so that way I can get past that blockage, whatever that was, barrier, mental blockage, mental barrier. Life is like that. We want to become successful in life, we're going to have to train our minds, mentally prepare ourselves, and get ready for whatever endeavor we are going to tackle and deal with in the future, take on. Right? It's going to be like that. Train our minds, train our lives. Change our lives. Let's go. Let's do it. Fascinating experience for me yesterday, and I feel good about myself. I put in 32 miles in a goddamn mountain. Extremely important. All right, now I need to do another one. So we're gonna try to see if we can do another one. But training, this is why I highly recommend, because I'm on this journey right now where you train your mind every single day. Train your body and train your mind every single day. This needs to happen. Why are we training our minds? To get what we want out of life. Doesn't just show up on the table. It just doesn't. Have to train your mind. See if I can get this thing here. Okay, here we go. Cool. Looks a little bit, it can even come a little bit further. Okay, here we go. Nice. We have to train our minds. Or maybe we should put it back a little bit. There we go. Right? So we have to train our minds, because this is just part of the work, the daily work that we have to put in. To become better than how we are right now, we have to use that mind muscle, develop, because you see, our minds are magnets, and they will draw to us the stuff that we actually want. I'm working on that right now. Things are coming to me. The more I train, the better I will get at it. I have to train my mind. These are things that nobody really sat down and teach us earlier on in our lives. You hear they say stuff like, if you put your mind to it. And those are true. But the truth is, if you train your mind to get what you want out of life, plus taking the action, that's how it changes your life. You know what I mean? So that was a lesson I learned yesterday, because when I was running, I didn't feel like my body was breaking down. My body was perfectly fine because I go to the gym every single day and I run every single day. Physically, I was fine. Mentally, I was fine. It's just my legs did not use to that that distance. And that's where the problem was. So now I know I have to go through that. Even my shoulders were, it's like I feel pain in my freaking shoulders. I'm like, why? I think because of my form and the way how I was running, the form I was in. Or maybe because of my water bag, I don't know. My water backpack, water vest, whatever you want to call it, my vest, with the water and the snacks and stuff in there. You know? And that was perfectly fine. But I'm thinking about it. If I did not prepare myself all these years, are these months that I was running for, if I did not prepare myself, how on earth was going to able to get through that race without the proper training? We have to train. um and you say, well, why would you want to train for this life that we are living right now, that we exist in, that why? There's a good book. It's called The Game of Life, and it says life is a game, and you have to know how to play it. And a lot of the rules are spiritual, so you can't really see them, but you are aware of them. You know these things exist because your parents told you, the preacher told you, the school teacher told you, and so forth. Where society will teach you in the most harsh, brutal way if you don't get it. You have to get it. And so anyways, so the game of life. You have to train for the game of life. We are playing in a game which we weren't trained for. And interestingly, society call us losers when we're not doing well for ourselves, especially financially. They call us losers. Why would they say that? Yo, you're a loser. And if you gain enough financial credit, stability, whatever, they call you a winner. What's going on here? So, it has to be a game playing here. You play the game right, you win. You don't understand the game, you go in there, you get demolished by the person who understands the game better than you. So there's a game playing here. Winners and losers. We are competing. We are playing. We enter into this game here. You know what? With no preparation. Why are you playing? It's like you show up to the NFL with no formal training. What do you think gonna happen to you? You know what I mean? So that's exactly what's going on here in the game of life, and that's the reason why we have to train in order for us to actually become better at this game that we are playing. Okay? You cannot just expect to, yeah, you cannot just expect to show up out here into in this game, in this world, with no formal training and expect to succeed. Most of our parents didn't understand the game at all. They didn't know. And that's the reason why we are behind. And people are wondering, oh, what happened to you, Tom? He doesn't look like he's doing well. Of course he's not, because he didn't got the training to be the person who he really wants to be. The most thing they show you: get a job, pay your rent, pay your bills. This is the life. Work, pay. For how long? So you spent 40 years working, paying your bills. Most people go through life like that. Very few people succeed. Um, hey, Lily. Right? Most people go through life like that, and they just work and pay their bills. Fine, you can work and pay your bills. It's okay. That's all. That's it. You're a good person. You work, pay your bills, take care of your children, take care of your wife. That's fine. I don't think anything is wrong with that. No, I don't. It's like nothing is wrong with that per se. Don't forget to like and subscribe while we're here, folks. Nothing is wrong with working and taking care of your wife and family. You are a great guy, and that's fine. And we understand. Jeff, you're a nice guy. You're a great guy. You work and take care of your family and so forth. But is that what this is all about? Working, paying bills for all of your life? Like my friend, who we're gonna go into some place in Colorado here. Um, After I recover and get ready again, I'm gonna go on a run with him. So I'm not an actual run, but we're gonna go visit some other places. Some other places where they have all these ancient, petroglyphs and so forth. We're gonna go. Thank you very much, Lily. We're gonna go to these places, right, and go visit. And same thing too, because he was feeling the vibe that, okay, I don't want to just die. So he became a nomad, and he started traveling all over Arizona, Utah, Colorado, and he started going all over the place traveling. He has his, and that's just how it go. Lily, what's going on, man? Shout out, what is this? Shout out to Lily. I'm not sure what's going on here. But anyways, this, and he became a great friend of mine. And, he's a good man, and he wants to do things, he wants to do things in his life. He wants to do things, right? That requires pretty much, I don't know, permission from society to do. And it was like, oh hell no, we're not doing that. We're gonna go out there and we're gonna get the thing done, right? And that's what he's doing. So he became a nomad, traveling all over this place here. All right. Yeah, of course. Yeah. So we're gonna go visit some places over there in some part of Colorado here very soon. Right? That's what I'm talking about. Gotta go out there and experience things, experience the world, and don't just sit back and just work and pay bills all of your life. It's a terrible way how to live. I know a lot of you know this already, but you are just not doing it. No experience. It's like, where have you been? I haven't really been anywhere really. I know, because when I was living over there in California for many, 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 many years, I didn't do a darn thing. I realized that I was living so close to Yosemite, and I have never been up there before. Yes, it's a problem. I don't think I would leave Colorado, but I would come visit you guys in Texas, Montana. I mean, I've drove through there before, but I would like to come visit you guys, Idaho, in the summertime maybe, because I do not know how about the winter time in you guys in the Rockies over there. We are in the Rockies over here too, but you guys are freezing cold over there in Montana and Idaho and all those places. So Wyoming. Oh, where in California do you live? I used to live in Stockton, then I moved to San Jose, east side of San Jose. I stayed 12 years in Stockton, 3 years in San Jose, east side of San Jose, and then I moved to Colorado because I just did not like to be in. I didn't want to be in California anymore. Lake Elshore, Elsinore. I don't know where that is at all. I don't know if that is Northern California or Southern California. I don't know. That sounds more like Southern California. Um, yeah, well, it was a great place. I love California very much, but it was my time to leave, and I know that I need to pack my stuff up and I need to go, and that's exactly what I did. Okay. All right, then, folks. So this was a nice little live here. Pretty much relaxed, and you gotta prepare yourself, mentally prepare yourself for whatever you are going to enter into. So training the mind, in my opinion, is highly important. So that way we can get to deal with the world out there, cause it's a challenge. When you wake up in the morning and you go out there, you saw my name on this thing here, right, Ryan? Uh, my name is Ryan. All right, cool. So yeah, it was a pleasure talking to you guys, and I'm looking forward to see you guys soon. Lily, appreciate you. Thank you very much. You say you live in Lake Elsinore. I'm not sure. Is that Northern California or Southern California? Because we are different. We are just different people from you guys in the South. We are in the North, and we are different from you guys in the South. Really, we really were. So Northern California, really? What city? Sorry. What's the big city close by? The city big city you are living in. What big city is that? You are living close by. Were you living close by Sacramento? Were you living close by, you know, Oakland, Berkeley? What big city were you living close by? Uh, Never heard of that before. Never heard of that city before. Interesting. Is there any other city that close by? Because Northern California, eh, I mean, like there are some other places like way, way, way out there. So I don't know. But yeah, I spent a good portion of my years out there, man, and it was beautiful. I love it. I enjoyed myself being in California. I you know. Okay, cool. Never mind then. That's all right. Okay. All right then. Well, I guess Lily, we will talk soon. Take care. I will be back here on my live tomorrow night, and we'll catch up with you guys later on. Don't forget to like and subscribe and comment down below. Appreciate y'all. Thank you very much for being here. You have a good night. Bye for now.